Okay, finally got this going. Good evening to those who listen. It's actually afternoon. Good afternoon to those who listen. It is November 12th, 2018, 5:53 p.m. And I wanted to let you guys know how I'm going with this prepping for the hearing. I still got a little work to do, but mainly everything's done. It's just got to be organized. And then I got to come up with how I'm going to say it and in the order I'm going to say it. And then I'm also going to ask you guys to listen to it because I'll do a video on it. And I want you guys to let me know what you guys think. And if there's anything else I should maybe add or subtract from it, or any other ideas of how I should word it, would be greatly appreciated. But also, I got something very important to show you too. And it's amazing news. I got this earlier. I had it for a little while, and I didn't put a video up yet, but it was because I was so busy yesterday with everything going on. But I'll show you. I'll show you what else too. Okay, well here's what I got going so far. I got all the information from WHO, WHO, World Health Organization, and CDC on their standards for mold, and how statistics on how likely you are to have certain health things, mainly respiratory conditions, happen to you if you're exposed to mold. And especially if you already have asthma or other respiratory conditions. So I also got the letters from the doctors, and I'll show you this new one I got, and then I'll tell you about the one that I'm going to be getting tomorrow from the pulmonologist who is in a specialty field. And when I went there, she wrote a letter for me, and I showed it to you guys. And they're going to write another letter for me that's even more detailed because something has happened. I'm going to tell you that, but let's go over this letter really fast. I know it. I can't help it. It has my date of birth in there. Sorry. But you guys know I'm old. All right. To whom it may concern, blah, 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 is a patient that follows in my office. He has known moderate/severe persistent asthma, which is true. He follows with pulmonology and has had recent allergy testing completed. And that's what I'm going to tell you next. Due to the severity of his asthma, I should highlight that too, any exposure to mold can negatively impact his health. He is best to live in an environment in which mold exposure is not a concern. And when I printed out the pages for the mold guidelines and all that, it says in there the best thing to do is to get away from the exposure. So in other words, it's saying get out of the apartment that I'm in because you're going to continue having problems and just keep getting worse. So that's that. And then I got the letter that says I should be moving out of this apartment. And then I got this. I need to do something, but I don't want everybody to see all my medical records. Just wanted to show you one page. I should have got that ready. Darn it, now I can't. All right, well, I'll just tell you what it says. But it's the results. When I was at the pulmonologist, she asked if I had tests done for allergies for respiratory allergens. And I was like, I don't know. I know the doctor did some tests, but it was just a few things and a few molds. So when I told her what kind of mold it was, she specifically did a test for that, and it came back positive for the same mold, Alternaria mold. It was like 3 times over the normal range. And can you imagine? My levels are at that range now. What would it have been when I was newly exposed to it? Because I haven't been there in over a month, maybe longer. And, besides going in and grabbing stuff and cleaning all my stuff out of there. So it's way over the limit. And there's a couple other things I was allergic to too, and stuff I already knew I was allergic to, like cats, dogs. But it's way over. And to me, this is like, there's no way. This is why I think it's great news. And I am thanking God, thanking Jesus for this, because I think this is the answer. And I think this is the biggest thing that will help me win this case. And I don't see any reason, I don't see how I could possibly lose, because the whole thing was I can't live in that apartment because of the mold and what it's doing to my health. It's not a safe living environment, and that's what it says in the guidelines, that they have to provide you with a safe, livable environment. And for me, it isn't. It might be for somebody else, but not for me. So they have to provide that. So they're already going against their guidelines. And then their argument is the mold isn't elevated. Well, it doesn't matter. It's like saying to somebody that has a peanut allergy, "Oh, here, just have just a little nibble off of this peanut." No, they're going to have a reaction. And that's what's happening to me. And the judge has to realize this. This is so easy. I got 33 pictures I printed out of all the mold that I found in the apartment, including the disgusting dishwasher mold, which is the most disgusting mold. I mean, it's awful. It looks like textbook, what you see in pictures. So I got that in pictures. So I got that. And then I got the doctor's letters. I got all the guidelines by the World Health Organization. These are top of the, this is the top of the health organizations, what their recommendations are. So there's that. And, this, I've been saying from the beginning, I just wanted them to move me out, and they wouldn't do it. And they kept refusing. And I was willing to just get out of the lease, and that was it. But now, I'll go to this one, I'll win this, and I'll get my Section 8 back. And then that will automatically prove that there was mold there, which they've admitted to, because they cleaned up an area. They took the floorboarding underneath the sink and replaced it and cleaned up the area. But then after that, they kept saying they couldn't find any other mold. Well, I couldn't find it either. And then I kept finding it and finding it in different places. So there is mold there. And it doesn't matter if it's a tiny bit or a whole bunch to somebody that has asthma and other allergies, because this is an allergy. So there's no way they can say anything different. This is so stupid, it's not even funny. So, I was going to show you that. Okay, but I'll put it up in the next video. It's my results, that proves that I'm allergic to that specific mold. And that specific mold is in that apartment because I did a mold test already and sent it to a lab, and it came back positive for Alternaria mold. Not elevated, but it doesn't matter. So I don't see any possible way that I would lose this. How? When I have proven everything. I have proven everything. And then after that, once I win that, I'll be able to go back on the apartment complex. And I feel sorry for them because, all they had to do was just move me to a new apartment, and they kept refusing. And now the public health department is going to have to go in. And they told me that if they go into one apartment, they have to go into all of the apartments in the building. There are 16 units that they're going to have to do. It's going to cost them a lot of money. Tens of thousands. I'm even thinking maybe $100,000. Why couldn't they just move me? I don't understand it. So I think I have enough proof. I think I have everything. I'm going to put this all together, and then I'll read how I'm going to do this whole presentation. I don't know how much time I'm going to have. I don't know if I'll be able to submit picture. Well, I'm sure they'll let me do pictures, but I don't know if they'll allow me to do any videos showing of that or hospital bills, stuff like that. I don't know what they'll do, but I know the main parts. All right, so that's enough. That's enough. It's enough. All right. So everything is going great, I think, and I don't see how I can possibly lose, and I just give all the glory to God. I knew some way, somehow, this was going to work out. And that's all I prayed for this whole time, was just to have God's will done. I'm not trying to get a ton of money. I mean, I think I deserve some of it back. I mean, all the lost wages, the hospital bills, prescriptions, paying rent at my sister's, and just the pain and suffering in itself. And I lost my job because of this. I mean, it was part of it. I mean, it wasn't the whole thing, but it was a main part of it. It was right from the start. The very first day I was supposed to go in, the day before I got sick and couldn't go. And then they told me, get better first. And I missed another 3 weeks. And then they slowly put me back on the schedule because they were worried I was going to have more problems. And I kept having more problems and missing more work. And then I was being late for work. And it was just a big nightmare. So everything's going to work out. Just pray for God's will. Thank you guys for helping out and listening. And just know that this is all in God's hands. Thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. God bless.